Okay, we're going to talk about the dollars and cents and the other benefits of having raised 2 pigs right here on this homestead. So with that said, let's bring out our handy dandy blackboard and we're going to talk about these things. Now, right off the bat, we got 2 pigs that were 8 weeks old. They were weaned and they had been eating some store-bought food. Now, the benefits of having a store-bought food out there is that it's fortified with all the vitamins, minerals. Everything's formulated to raise that pig from the time it's a little pup all the way up until it's time to put in the freezer. Now, we're going to show how we made deviations from that and how we adjusted. But right off the bat, to get those 2 pigs cost us, they were 60 bucks a piece. So to get 2 of them, it cost us 120 bucks. Now, the feed right out of the gates, because we didn't just want to take them cold turkey and go from their store-bought formulated feed into our system right off. So we kind of weaned them into it. And really the first day they got here, we were already giving them, I think it was rice right out of the gates. But we kind of titrated the level of food they had from the store-bought feed and brought it down within just a few days. So it was a small bag and it cost about 20 bucks. Now, minerals, folks, I can't overstate the importance of this because typically in store-bought feed, they're going to formulate that stuff to where you need little else. But because we're doing things that are non-conventional and, dare I say, unusual, that we're going to have to take that ball into our own court ourselves. Even if you do have those the store-bought food, you still need to supplement minerals. So what we used was kelp, but most importantly, I can't even begin to describe how much charcoal, and really in our case biochar, these animals went through. In fact, they went through the equivalent of, I'd say, at least a 55-gallon drum of biochar, and I'd say 1.5 of those, of the biochar that we produced right here. So, and the cool thing about that is that the biochar, it accumulates, it bioaccumulates all that stuff into the wood of the tree. When we turn the biochar, pigs know what they need, they get in there, they eat it. And in fact, during the end of their lives, they really almost never touched the kelp. When they had free choice between kelp and biochar, they always ate the biochar. And in most cases, just didn't even touch the kelp. So from the purchase of the pigs and all the other things, we're talking 160 bucks total. Okay, so now let's talk concerning the weight of the pigs. Now, we didn't get a live weight, which is basically them standing on all fours, breathing, everything's fine. But my best guess, and I'm probably right on the money with this, is one pig was well over 325 pounds, and the other pig was right at about 300 pounds. So if we were to take the combined hanging weight of both pigs, we're going to arrive at 460 pounds. And in truth, it was considerably more than that, because we let these pigs go a little bit longer for a whole variety of reasons, but not the least of which being that we had A, work for them to do, and B, I wanted a little more fat on there because, as I've stated in some of our other videos concerning preparedness, how fat is one of those neglected things that you have on a homestead, and how we needed it, and we needed it badly. So when it was all said and done, we got 1.5 gallons of leaf lard, and we got about as much of the back fat. Okay, so when we get down to brass tacks in terms of numbers, so we're going to take our combined cost, which was 160 bucks conservatively, it probably was less, and we're going to take our hanging weight of the combined hanging weight of both pigs, and then what we come up with is, bam, 34 cents a pound. Now, folks, I'm not pointing this out to brag to you. I'm saying this, I'll put this down, 34 cents a pound for pastured raised pork that was non-GMO, raised here, had its fair share of everything it wanted to eat outside. To get any kind of meat for 34 cents a pound is unbelievable. It's unthinkable. In fact, it's just impossible to find in today's day and age. In fact, if you were to get this meat at anything under, I'd say $7 a pound, you got yourself a deal. In fact, go to the local butcher store in town, and ground pork, which is one of the cheaper things you're going to find, ground pork is right at $7 a pound, and that's for pigs that are not even in the same ballpark of quality as the ones we have that we raised right here. Because on a homestead, there's so many wonderful things you can do and nuanced things that you can look after that a person that has, let's say, 50, 60, 100 pigs on their place, things they can't do. And in fact, folks, a little side note here, a lot of the people that claim to have organic pigs, they do in most cases. But if you were to go to look at their places like Michelle and I once did down in Louisiana, it was completely certified organic, but the places where the pigs were living, breathing, hanging out were literally a moonscape for acres and acres and acres, but they were organic pigs. So don't let that organic thing throw you for a loop, because a lot of those pigs have nowhere near the quality that many of you might think they have. So back to our pigs and back to the other pigs that are raised in this kind of environment. So from the time they get here until the time that they're no longer here, until the time they graduate into the freezer, these pigs live a life that is probably the envy, certainly of any pig in a CAFO operation, but definitely the envy of most animals on planet Earth that are kept in captivity. And like Mark Shepard says, they only have one bad day. Well, when you process them on the farm, they don't even have that, because they don't even know it's coming. So these animals were humanely raised and treated absolutely as best as we could from start to finish. So folks, if you want to know how to do this for yourself, like I said, a lot of people didn't get the notifications out there, but if you want to see those, we'll put those videos in the end screen concerning how you dispatch your animals, how you gut, how you skin, how you break them down into primals, and how you break them into individual cuts, put them in the package, how to make sausage, how to render your lard. All of that will be attached in the end screen. So all of it is right here at this channel if you choose to use it. In previous videos, we've shown you how to raise chickens not only for free, but to put that meat into your freezer and at the same time put money into your pocket for compost you didn't have to buy. Go back and watch those videos. And today we're showing you how pigs not only clear space for you that you could use for other things, and at the same time fattening up to put meat in your freezer. So folks, all this content is right here if you choose to watch it. And take what's useful, absorb what's useful, and apply it. Now, even if you go out there like I do one day a week and pick up the necessary food. Now think about this, folks. I go out one day a week and I was able to get enough food in that one day a week visit to feed 2 pigs, 40 meat birds, and 20 layers, and still have so much food left over that I would have to compost it. That's one day a week. So think about how you can do this on your own terms, whether you're supplementing your food or whether you're doing it all this way. But just keep in mind, and I can't state it enough, that if you do this with pigs or chicken, make sure your minerals are on point, because they're almost certainly going to need them. And folks, think about those places off the beaten path that you can use. Breweries, they have spent grain you can use, and many times it goes into a trash can. You have bakeries. What do they do with day old bread? They usually throw it out. You have all kinds of restaurants out there, folks, that would almost be willing to partner with you, and they would feel a little better in here if they were able to, instead of filling a landfill, they could find a way to fill your belly. All right, folks, now be absolutely sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and tell your friends about us. Tell anybody that might find this stuff interesting to look at these videos, subscribe, and absorb what they think is useful. Now, until next time, this is Billy, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy from Permapastures Farm, where PIMP stands for Permaculture is my passion, because it really is. We'll see you next time.